Kit&Tully, Chapter 6. Saturday, July 1990s. Saturday finally comes. Felice and I look good leaving her house. Both of us know we're going to stand out. I'm wearing the new black top under her old leather biker jacket, and she's in her bright London gear. Spike is still the worse for wear. Both his eyes are black, but under his shaggy mop of hair it looks kind of goth and deliberate. The only problem is everyone in Shimshanra knows they really are bruises. It gets me thinking. Apart from Felice and I, Spike has no people here. He's just the queer kid who gets beaten up all the time. I hadn't really thought about it before. It all seemed so far away. But now I find myself wondering what will happen next year. When Felice and I come home from boarding school at the weekends, will Spike still be there for us? Or will he stay in Dublin with his new university friends? Everything is changing, and there's no way to stop it. Fibbers is packed, the dark interior bathed in purple light. For an instant I could swear I feel a presence. Angus, he's here. But that's not possible. And then Tully comes towards us, waving madly. What's he doing here? I turned to Spike. I asked him along. Why? You don't mind, do you? Of course not, Felice replies. He looked after you the other night. We owe him one. But I'm not pleased to see him. This was meant to be just us, the three of us. Our first night out together after Felice's return and Spike's exams. I don't want to share it with anyone, least of all a stranger. Hey! Tully's smile is wide and trusting. In boring jeans, boring t-shirt and beyond boring runners, he definitely doesn't look like a hardcore fan. Hey! I don't look at him and my voice is not welcoming. Hey! Felice links her arm through his and winds her way through the crowd to the front of the stage. She's just elbowed enough space for us all when the band leap on stage to the roars of screaming fans. Up front, the hot, sweaty crowd presses tight around us, heaving. But it doesn't matter, because we all share the same emotion. We are here. This is history in the making. Mac Whitehead glides around the stage like a being possessed. He dominates the space, all eyes on him, drawn irresistibly to his every movement. He's the one we all want. It pulls us through the crowd, this knowledge, this excitement, this sense of destiny. Tully moves into my field of vision, waving his arms and pumping his fists, belting out the lyrics of the chorus. Strange, I wouldn't have pinned him as a raving Black Death fan. Those runners, shudder. He's not my type, really not my type. Still, with a few basic changes, like if he ditched the runners, got better jeans and wore a black t-shirt instead of a stupid wine one, he'd get way more attention. It's easy for a guy to look cool. Much more effort for a girl. Life is so unfair. Not that it matters what Tully wears. None of us would look at him twice anyway. Not when Mac Whitehead is in the room. Mac crouches down with his mic to growl out the next verse of Plagued by You. His gaze is riveted on me, like he has eyes only for me and no one else. Perhaps every other girl in there is thinking the same thing, but I am convinced it's me. I love him so much. He must surely feel it radiating, carried above the crowd, floating over all the longing, pouring out from all the other angsty teen souls, the hearts just waiting to be broken. And when I steal a glance around me, everyone is as spellbound as I am, even the guys, even Spike and Tully. The building erupts in cheers as their big hit comes to an end. Mac lets the final notes hover and die in the crowd's cheers. They are called back for one encore, and then another, and finally a third. As the place begins to clear out, we hang around chatting. They were amazing, Tully says. Have you seen them before? Felice asks. Never. Don't know much about them, except that song on the radio. Plagued by You. Felice runs her eye over him from head to toe and gives a slight shake of her head. I know what that means. She's lost interest. Tully may have rescued Spike, but he's not going to get to hang out with us again after this. I should be glad. It's what I wanted. Just the three of us. Felice, Spike and I. No one in the way. No one messing with our dynamic. We're best as a trio because we get each other in a way no one else does. Yet for some reason, I feel a little sorry for Tully. None of this is his fault. It's just the way it is. Where's Spike? I ask, partly to change the subject and partly because Spike has disappeared. I don't know. Felice looks around like she's only just noticed he's not there. He went over to talk to someone, Tully says. We round on him simultaneously. Who? Sorry, he takes a step backwards, holding up his hands. No idea. Spike comes bounding up to us a moment later, eyes alight. Guys, you won't believe this. I know the sound guy. They need a hand loading up the gear. Come on, we'll get to meet the band. We follow Spike around to a grimy, badly lit alley at the back of Fibbers where the band have parked their van. Spike's sound guy introduces us to everyone, but there are too many of them to remember all the names, though Mac Whitehead is noticeably absent. I recognise the Rastafarian drummer, Len, and the lead guitarist, Baz. He has a girlfriend whose name I barely catch. Gemma? No, Jenna, she replies with an American drawl. Where's Mac? Felice asks the question uppermost in my mind. At the bar, chatting up the girls. Jenna rolls her eyes. As usual. It's hard for Mac to get away, Baz says. They all want a piece of him. The rest of you manage it, Jenna says with asperity. But I know what Baz means. He may be lead guitarist, but despite the cheeky grin under a mop of ungroomed curls, he's no Mac Whitehead. He's never going to be the star, the one everyone wants. What do you think? Spike nudges me when Len, the drummer, stops loading the van to chat to Felice. I've heard he's from London. Bet they've loads to talk about. Maybe. There's nobody like Len, all chill and laid back with dreadlocks under his Rasta cap and Drimshanra. Spike is right. He's exactly the kind of guy Felice would go for. It takes about an hour to get the van loaded. Somehow Tully and I end up helping Baz and Jenna shift the band's gear while Felice flirts with Len and Spike chats with the sound guy. Once it's done, there's still no sign of Mac Whitehead, but we no longer have an excuse to hang around. I spot Felice write something on a piece of paper and hand it to Len, a sure sign she likes him. But there's not much point in giving him her phone number, since there's no chance of them seeing each other again. Thanks for helping out, Baz says. Great to meet you all. Tully is way too cheery and enthusiastic. Even though he did most of the work, I'm fed up with him. If he wasn't there, nobody would have expected me to do all the loading. Instead, I'd have been chatting and laughing with Felice and Spike. That's the thing about 3. You can't leave just one person out. But 4 is a different dynamic.